Sing it out.
All right.
So this is the first of the best of three for the finals for Dominate Dominion 41. On blue side, we do have inFe on Teemo, BuddhaRice Lee Sin, CaptnBuwberry on Frostfire Annie, Painkillar playing Leona, not being played by Leona, and konfetarius. I don't know how I like to pronounce his name. I haven't figured it out yet. On Kha'Zix. I am Skill Factory rounding out one half of your casters today. The other half is going to be my partner in crime.
I am Gandare of the gaming clan, Vato clan, and on the other side, the lower half of this loading screen here, or the right side of the map, whichever you prefer, is going to be the team Feel the Vibe. It consists of Notorare Man playing as Nidalee, my camera going out of control, there we go, Notorare Man playing as Nidalee, HaIfhearted playing as Elise, Dienovv playing as Pantheon, Talith PA playing as Jarvan, and Armor playing as Yorick.
Yeah, we'll see who's going to go down bottom. I do also suspect the Yorick, as he pretty much matches up evenly with any champion in the game. He really doesn't have a hard counter. There are some champions that do well 1v1 versus him, but there's nobody that really counters Yorick. You can't shut Yorick down. So when he is in a 1v1 situation, he will at least come even as long as the skill is even, and he might bring his Undertaker down bottom. Notorare Man's also kind of looking at the bottom, you know, thinking that might want to go that way, but I'll definitely expect to see the Nidalee go up top.
I think inFe Teemo bottom, maybe, or maybe he's gonna go. I don't know. Might be. Let's look at the items.
Lee Sin starting with
Grez's Lantern.
Grez's Lantern. I bet he will go bottom.
That's what
He did go armor first. He's not gonna have to worry about the Elise and Nidalee poke up top with all that AP damage. He's going to go bottom, square off, 1v1 versus armor, and it is a pretty even matchup. He has a lot of sustain with that Lantern. He's got a little bit of extra armor in there, and extra armor versus armor. And armor also started Lantern, but he went more health pots, which obviously Lee Sin will not have energy pots available to him. So we'll see how the sustain goes and who can trade a little bit better. Talith PA is going to be the first one up at this cap. And Nidalee putting down traps, chunking CaptnBuwberry. Does have a stun up. Oh, walked right into the stun. CaptnBuwberry going to be the first one to go down. Going to take a lot of damage right now. Dropping out his own Ignite. Dying first. Talith PA chasing them off. And now it's Painkillar versus Notorare Man, who wants to get down and do more damage onto konfetarius right here. Dienovv getting exhausted. Talith PA trying to get away. The Xenoblade's going to get right in the back. Going to die to the shield of Leona. But it's going to be a 3-for-2 trade as the revives come out to hopefully keep this point for the blue team.
And Painkillar getting webbed right there. He is able to turn around and connect with Notorare Man. Nidalee is exactly where he wants to be right now, in the back of the fight. Able to contribute that DPS. konfetarius dives straight in for Notorare Man, able to kill off Nidalee right there. But however, he extended past the entire enemy team, and they're responding to that by focusing pretty hard right there afterward.
They're doing a good job trading kills. The focus from each team coming out is actually very good right now. Talith PA coming back across, a double kill coming out for Annie. The Spider not going to land on anybody. It was kited enough to explode there, missing the stun. CaptnBuwberry is very low, but is just going to use itself. Oh, missing that spear just barely. Notorare Man is, and Annie's spamming laugh as Painkillar is going to go down in a 2v2. HaIfhearted also in a lot of trouble with konfetarius. He's going to get up with the repel. konfetarius is going to go down on that Kha'Zix. A spear to the back of Leona. Going to drop her shield, fall to her knees, go back to the summoner platform, and blue team is going to lose this exchange up top.
And with it, they are also going to lose the windmill, which they can go back and turn that around later. It should be okay. Kind of interesting, though. There hasn't been any ganks bottom. Annie could hear me, I bet. CaptnBuwberry coming straight down right now.
Yeah, BuddhaRice in a lot of trouble. There are so many minions right now. And Annie doesn't even want to actually go for the kill onto armor. She just wants to clear the lane because BuddhaRice is so far behind in trying to slow these minions. Armor just being able to push and bully the Lee Sin out of the lane because Lee Sin doesn't have enough damage or sustain to really deal with armor right now. Armor just popping mana pots, getting the extra mana from the health relic, and a fight's going to spawn up top here. A good stun coming down on the Painkillar. They're actually going to focus the tank right here as inFe tries to get a little bit of damage down. The Solar Flare coming down, but not going to have anything to say versus the Cataclysm of Talith PA, who's going to take down that Leona. And now Armor in a lot of trouble down bottom. He is reviving In coming down, they will not be able to take the Boneyard as they all try to back in the bushes. Another close
Look
spear.
at Tibbers go. Did you see that? That was
Tibbers
really
went
cool.
a little too fast.
Tibbers was out of control there for a
Spear,
second.
though. Notorare Man has just barely missed 2 spears that were good kills by millimeters. Spears just grazing by these champions. I think it was one on the Teemo up top, and then down bottom it was on the Lee Sin, just barely missing those.
Now there's minions being pushed up to the top right here. Elise does have some AoE damage that she can put on those, however, to help clear them out of the way. Painkiller coming around from the back, though. He's going to connect with. He's going to connect with HaIfhearted. HaIfhearted has disappeared and reappeared down on konfetarius. CaptnBuwberry down there trying to keep Talith PA and Dienovv away from the rest of the team and doing an okay job in delaying them. Kha'Zix, not quite able to connect, unfortunately, on Elise, however. Now inFe is getting really low on health and has to retreat. Pantheon picks up a double kill down there in that engagement, and they have successfully warded them off of the point for now. You see them recalling right here. They're just going to go ahead and hand that point over to FTV, and FTV has been playing some really good games so far all this tournament long.
Yeah, FTV doing a very good job at picking the right champions to get it done. They've been running a lot of Nidalee and Elise, and it's playing out in their favor. Elise able to land those stuns and get a huge burst onto people. We saw it in Annie right at the beginning. She basically landed that stun, everybody jumped on Annie, and it put it in their favor. Right now, a gank coming down bottom. Armor in a little bit of trouble here. konfetarius trying to tee off with him, but Armor now going to get ignited. Annie putting the damage down. The stealth coming out from Kha'Zix, going to hide in that bush and get away here, but Jarvan trying to come back, close the gap. Oh, a wasted Cataclysm as Kha'Zix jumps out of there. Annie coming in with the Tibbers, putting on some good damage to Talith PA, but I don't think they can win this 2v2. BuddhaRice extending a little too far. He will Dragon's Rage and then Sonic Wave to it, but it is not enough. They're actually pinging back from CaptnBuwberry, who doesn't have any HP. Going to get the shutdown, though, with the last auto attack that she had.
I don't know if konfetarius got the damage to do this yet, but he's going to try for it anyway, and yes, he is able to pick up the kill on J4 right there, but they did waste a lot of time, though. I think he'll be able to get this. Oh, they got the point there. That's going to give them the extra damage. Is CaptnBuwberry going to live through this? It looks like he might just barely get out, or stay alive to delay, and then take the death trip back.
Meanwhile, up top, Leona doing a great job at slowing down this top point and really holding a 1v2 versus Nidalee and Elise, and actually coming out with a kill onto the Nidalee. And it looks like we have a pause coming out. I hate how you can't move around the map when there's a pause going on.
Well, if you have your... Yeah, the other thing is when your cursor gets stuck in the thing because you were scrolling the camera with it at the same time. So...
I didn't get a stuck cursor, but I would like to go down and see how close Yorick is. We are going to come right back in. It was a very short pause. CaptnBuwberry is going to go down 2 armor as he neutralizes that point on Yorick. 2 people there to help, not needed whatsoever. HaIfhearted going to solo cap this top point. All the revives are down except...
Whoa! They broke everyone off to try and stop Lee Sin. Man, they got scared.
Yeah, they didn't... Lee Sin, a really high damage build right now. And I don't know if it's the best idea because they have Kha'Zix kind of going the exact same way with a lot of damage. So they don't really have anybody tanking on the team except for the Annie, who's going to go for a Rylaze first.
Now, Annie's, that hit points are going to help her out a lot because that Molten Shield's going to give her all the armor and MR, so all she really needs is health to stay effective in the game. Now, konfetarius getting low on health and trying to escape. Talith PA trying to kill him. Notorare Man running over a little mushroom right there, taking that extra Teemo damage. And chasing still, HaIfhearted, able to connect, but he still hasn't been able to catch up with konfetarius. konfetarius circling back around for a little bit more, and they still don't manage to take him down yet. He keeps able to get off these hit-and-run moves, but at the same time, he hasn't been able to kill anyone yet. Uh-oh, now Talith PA has caught up with him, and the Cataclysm takes him down.
Yeah, he definitely needed that Cataclysm there for the last amount of damage. A good solar flare on Dienovv. Another stun coming out from CaptnBuwberry, and the third stun from Painkillar. Not able to do any damage. Pantheon pretty much stunned for 2/3 of his health by that combination right there. And we have a fairly close game now. Red team is pulling ahead a little bit. They're almost ahead by about 80 points right now. But this is the point where blue team's going to regroup. They're going to have a revive or 2 up for this next fight. But they won't have Tibbers. And I don't know if the teddy bear is going to be all the difference in this next fight. especially if they come down for a gank on the Yorick, who's going to go back.
Yeah, Yorick has left and gotten out of the way there. Half-hearted inFe, a little bit of damage being exchanged between them, but it's mostly just poke. And the other side of the map, though, we have both teams kind of getting close to each other here. And Notorare Man's getting stunned and caught out. CaptnBuwberry contributing to that fight big time with another stun followed up right after the first one. Now Dienovv is retreating back towards the summoner platform. Nobody's going to take a hard left, head up to the point there. He wants to be able to defend it from getting captured, because with Elise up at the top and Yorick down at the bottom, it's a 3v2. Could be a 4v2, but they're losing their window with which they can dive it. So they're swinging upward instead here. Painkillar, nope, stop before the Zenith Blade could get used there, and Painkillar just needs to connect with that and stop him for just a, complete Zenith Blade denial right there. However, lands back straight into a stun, buys inFe a couple of hits of that toxic dart damage right there, so Half-Hearted is going to go down. And now Painkillar's going to turn around and try and go for the tower, but with Talith PA up here now, it's going to be a little bit difficult to do so. The Solar Flare does land, stun him, and Annie, a little bit of a stun of her own going on there, but she doesn't quite have the damage. She's going to need to muscle Talith down. Now with Notorare Man's Nidalee up here, are we going to see some blind spears? Now we're going to see some normal spears for a little bit of damage. Not quite blind, so they did see the clairvoyance go down up there, but Annie is trapped in a place that she really doesn't want to be right now, and Talith PA is going to be able to probably take her down here. Yep, does get that last hit in on her. Annie gets a free trip back to the summoner platform, but slightly differently than the way the game has been going before. Now it's the bottom right tower that is the one that's getting assaulted. Armor did get kicked out of the lane there for a little bit, and Lee Sin was able to capitalize by taking this point, which so far this entire game, Lee Sin's been sort of suffering against Yorick. So get that tower back for a little while, change the dynamic of the game for just a moment, and it keeps Elise down there, which gives them an opportunity to do things up top. Notorare Man getting caught out, damage between inFe and Kha'Zix. Able to take him down. So the mushrooms placed right over here. They're going to run right over that one. There you go, slow him down just a little bit. But they do have a defensive garrison to keep that tower firing while this goes on. Dienovv goes down, and inFe as well. konfetarius is able to jump out, and Painkillar's just not tanky enough to keep konfetarius alive right now.
No, but CaptnBuwberry is coming in. The Cataclysm's going down. There is the Tivers. A good stun on Half-Hearted. A good dodge to that spear of Notorare Man's. Half-Hearted going to close the gap, but deciding not to go all the way in on this, as Annie had another stun up and is putting good damage. Oh, but half health from the burst of Half-Hearted. And it's funny because the Half-Hearted half-healthing people. But coming up top is the high damage Kha'Zix right now. The jump and damage from him right now, very, very scary. And if Half-Hearted gets caught by this, he'll be in a lot of trouble. He is going to eat the stun. He is going to get chunked again. Running into that stun, such a bad idea. CaptnBuwberry with the stun up, does not land it onto Half-Hearted. And a lot of trouble now. konfetarius is going to come help get that kill. The Spider coming down and finishing off that Annie as the 2v1 at the tower happens with konfetarius taking out the Nidalee. But here comes the Pantheon dropping in, hopefully even odds. One spear for konfetarius going to take him down. He is blinded, and he is going to block the damage, but the stuns are too much as Dienovv goes down. inFe is going to be able to take this tower. I don't think Half-Hearted will make it in time, as the quest tower spawns for down bottom. CaptnBuwberry going to zone Half-Hearted. A very good trade now with the 1v1, as long as her cooldowns are up.
Now up at the top end of the map, Pays Evelyn Child Support is kind of in a little bit of a rough spot. They've got Annie at half health there, and mostly a full health enemy team around. I don't know if she'll get a chance to back or not. konfetarius in the center of the map tried to get that storm shield, though it was kind of chased away, and they just keep kind of moving on down the map. You see Nidalee here with Leona behind her, Talith PA chasing after konfetarius. I can't quite fit everyone on my screen, unfortunately. konfetarius finally getting caught out there, going to try and leap out, but no, J4 follows it up with the Cataclysm. He jumps when you jump.
Yeah, he's a big fan of dunking people. Talith PA putting that damage in. CaptnBuwberry, another big burst coming from Half-Hearted. The Solar Flare going to come down, give her a little bit of time. A spear chasing her down. Dienovv going to pick up that kill. But in the meantime, Half-Hearted having to go 1v1 with BuddhaRice and not having enough damage to slow him down whatsoever. Dienovv going to try to pick up this kill, but Painkillar being a pain in the butt, just laying down the CC as konfetarius comes with huge burst damage and going to shut down that Pantheon.
And they do have to take care of the minions down here. Looks like BuddhaRice is going through to try and take care of that as best he can. Lee Sin, definitely not known for his minion killing ability, although with enough power on his I forget what the ability's called, but with enough on his AoE, he can take care of those lower health ones though pretty easily. Never remember the nice flash getting out of the way of Kha'Zix right there, going to save his life for a moment. Pantheon coming down. Not quite close enough to calculate, and the steps on the mushroom, unfortunately, you do not want to stand in that. that's a pretty bad thing. And inFe's some really good mushroom play all game long. Saw that last engagement up at the top earlier where he used to kill Pantheon. Using the mushrooms in as well as using them on the map as traps. It's one of the things that separates a good Teemo from a great Teemo. Now they're hanging out in the middle of the map, so you got the sweeper going on right now, so they can kind of detect a little bit, so they know where the mushrooms are. Nope, not this time. konfetarius is able to jump away right there. The solar flare goes down and stuns HaIfhearted, but HaIfhearted just repels up and away, so they can't really take advantage of the stun, unfortunately. inFe kind of hanging out in the back, kind of chipping away at people a little bit, but konfetarius getting caught out and killed, and with Leona dead, they really didn't have a real solid push behind that, unfortunately.
Yeah. It was a mistake of Teemo to try to walk in and drop a mushroom because half-hearted Notorare Man turned around right away. Ooh, great defensive garrison by Painkillar, trying to save this windmill right now. He is at the 2v1 again, but he did a great job last time. See if he can pick up a kill on Notorare Man here. The tower actually picking half-hearted with his one attack. He will get the one kill. Does have a Sunfire Cape, so doing a good amount of damage now. Dienovv really not being able to hurt him very much. inFe picking up that kill there. HaIfhearted in a little bit of trouble now as konfetarius comes over the wall. He will rappel up. He's going to come down and just fall over. And that Crunchy Spider is going to just flip on its back, screaming and worried about where it's going to be next. No revive up for the Elise. Nidalee down bottom. Armor and BuddhaRice still teeing off 1v1. The ult's going to come out from Armor, and he will kick it back. Hopefully BuddhaRice can get the kill onto Armor. Armor's going to come back up. See if he can chase him down. There's no minions to safeguard to. Armor should be able to pick up this kill. Here it is, one more auto attack, and then there's a good safeguard to himself, but the standard comes down to finish him off. konfetarius coming back in, trying to get the Talith PA, but they do not want to go for the 2v2 there. Even with Annie coming to help, they're going to try to get this tower. It is the quest cap right now. konfetarius is going to jump out of there. Does not want to get stunned, because that means another stun is going to follow up right after that. Meanwhile, up top, Notorare Man and Painkillar are having a lot of 1v1s going on. The Zenith Blade coming down. Good damage actually coming out from Painkillar, even though he's eating the spears. That shield, the Eclipse, is keeping him alive for a good amount of time, but I don't think he's going to win overall. Too much AP on Notorare Man right now, as they all come up to try to divert each other from the windmill right now.
inFe throwing down a little bit of mushroom right there. Annie and Tibbers trying to take care of Dienovv, and they are able to do so. So konfetarius leading him right over that mushroom there, which helps out a lot. Talith PA is going to dash on out of the way, wants to make sure he doesn't eat any Annie stuns. And Teemo, chasing after Elise right there, but he puts the mushroom down, so if HaIfhearted went down the same place, would have come down straight on top of it. That's a smart play like that. I like that trick a lot. Everyone write that down in your little notebook or a post-it note or something, because that's the play. Ow, konfetarius, do not stand in that. That is a Nidalee spear. It is bad for your health. Your antibodies cannot fight it. BuddhaRice and Armor down here in the bottom lane, though, and Pantheon coming down here as well. So BuddhaRice doesn't really have anywhere to go because the way that Pantheon came in kind of cut off the retreat path. So instead he's going to dive in, pick up a kill real quick on Yorick. But then I don't know how he's going to get out of this one. I mean, he's got energy, but he's going to Resonating Strike to Pantheon. I think it would have liked it a little bit better if he tried to go out through the minions, though, but that is okay. inFe has discovered Dienovv, has done a little bit of damage to him. He's going to try and cut him into the minion, but Dienovv isn't going to have any of that, unfortunately. konfetarius is going to jump up to try and close the gap and get in, but nope. And he runs over a mushroom, unfortunately, and takes some more damage. Damage is not a thing that you want to take. konfetarius.
He's straight into that mushroom, even after you dropped it right there.
Yeah.
A second or two behind live right now. HaIfhearted trying to go 2v1 down bottom. CaptnBuwberry missing the stun. konfetarius going to get low here. Good sustain. He's going to use his ult to get out of there, going stealth, getting exhausted as he comes back. Talith PA using the Cataclysm. The konfetarius being so cheeky, just jumping out of it as Talith PA tries to do damage to Buwberry, but realizes that they're not going to win this fight. Teemo's going to go down to Armor. inFe in a little bit of trouble now. Hopefully he can kite with the mushrooms, drops another one, runs back through across the speed shrine, and they will come out with the kills there and not lose either one down bottom. But meanwhile, up top, Leona not able to defend the 2v1 again for the third time up top, and they're finally going to lose the windmill, this game being very close within almost 20 points right now.
And you're right, I was back like a second or so. For some reason, it got desynced.
I had the same issue where it just jumped back like 2 seconds, and I was like, why is it not... I'm not seeing what you're seeing. Oh, Notorare Man, konfetarius, the damage coming out, just assassinating on that bug. He does miss one of his attacks onto Dienovv, but he has help there. inFe going with the blind. He's going to get the double kill. He's going to get the health relic. HaIfhearted now, 1v1ing inFe. inFe in a lot of trouble. Going to go down here. Can't get to his mushrooms. konfetarius going to take out HaIfhearted? No! Elise just a little bit too far ahead. Oh, and the solar flare taking her down as Tibbers drops onto Talith PA, and they just decide to do short work to Talith PA, who's in a bad spot right now. He's not going to be able to help himself with that Cataclysm at all.
Well, he did keep himself a little bit alive a little bit longer. I mean, Leona wasn't able to connect with a stun at all, so it did by a second or so. But now the point has been neutralized. Dienovv not able to save it in time, though, but he is able to keep them from full capping it. Notorare Man catching up as well now. And Dienovv's health just gets lower really, really quickly. Although with Annie down, that's the primary DPS they had up there. His Painkillar is not necessarily the strongest champion, especially with the solar flare down for another 10 seconds or so. He's probably not going to be able to get to use it in this fight. Nope. That crit.
No, he's going to go down there. He doesn't have the damage to take down either one of them now. They're a little bit tankier, but konfetarius does. Jumping on that Nidalee, does not care. He is a bug from another world, picking up a double kill. inFe, though, taking a lot of damage from HaIfhearted. Does not have the MR or anything to deal with HaIfhearted's burst right now. konfetarius jumping back in. A huge half health burst onto Elise, taking him down. He does have vision on top of his head right now. Talith PA is trying to get on him. He's just going to kite him away a little bit. He has another slow coming up right now and a good amount of sustain. And he's just jumping around, holding this point up top neutral as Lee Sin on his team is taking the Boneyard.
Whoa, Talith PA through the wall, but Painkillar followed straight through after Talith. Able to connect and stick to him and get a stun off on him as well. konfetarius trying to do a little bit of damage there. And Notorare Man now coming up. Talith connecting with an airborne on Painkillar there. Only a slow goes off from that solar flare there. They already get down J4. Now it's 4 people versus Nidalee, and that's not a very good price. Painkillar able to catch up and stop by HaIfhearted temporarily. Pantheon does come down, able to connect with inFe. Him and HaIfhearted have that no problem. But BuddhaRice puts out a little bit of DPS as well. And that Boneyard situation that you mentioned, Armor seems to have it under control now.
Yeah, meanwhile, Feel the Vibe, though, still having a 3-point cap. Still whittling away the points, now down to 84 on the red team, and they need to get one of these points back as soon as possible. HaIfhearted looking like he wants to go back, but instead he's going to sit in the bush, try to catch somebody out, and get a big advantage for this next fight. Painkillar in the bush, going to take a spear to the face, but kite everybody onto a mushroom and not care one bit about it. CaptnBuwberry's got to be careful, though, does not want to eat another Elise stun. We've seen Elise chunk the health down. He does dodge the stun, gets exhausted anyways. HaIfhearted, though, getting stunned out. CaptnBuwberry coming up with the damage to kill him there. A flash coming from Notorare Man and getting the kill. But now the reinforcements coming up from blue side here. They're going to take out Talith PA. inFe doing great amount of damage there. The Ghost Blade's not going to be enough. Sorry, that was konfetarius' Ghost Blade, I believe, not J4. J4 does not have a Ghost Blade. And down bottom, BuddhaRice trying to put some damage in on this tower. He will get it to neutral and might get out alive. No, the Cataclysm comes down from Talith PA for another kill.
And he can cover so much range with that dash and Cataclysm combination. You saw the gap that he was managed to cover right there. Now konfetarius coming down here from Talith PA. The point's still neutral off, so konfetarius can try and fight this, but Talith PA is a little bit tanky. However, konfetarius does so much extra damage. Kha'Zix versus single target, and we see that right there, him getting taken down. He might be able to eat Notorare Man too. We will see. Notorare Man has been proving all game long that he can really put out the DPS, but circling out for just a second to try and get that health relic enables Notorare Man to pick up the tower, and now konfetarius is a lot more stickier of a situation. Pops the stealth to try and get rolling here, and then he's going to leap out of the way. HaIfhearted tries to connect, but isn't quite able to do so. Notorare Man can't quite reach him either. Nope, got him right there. He took that left-hand turn and was picked up by Nidalee. Now BuddhaRice down here trying to defend this tower. 1v2, nope, 2v2. Painkillar has arrived to help out a little bit, and they're going to fall back.
Meanwhile, they took the drill up top, so that's going to probably signify the end of the game. Red team not going to be able to cap 2 points within these 4 points they have left. CaptnBuwberry going to get a final kill onto Yorick. Nidalee and Lee Sin also going down. But that is going to be the first game for Feel the Vibe. And they did a very good job. That Kha'Zix proving to be devastating. Singling out targets and just assassinating them. Exactly how he's supposed to be played. Leaping over walls, coming into your face, and just nuking people down.